Yeah, this is totally Pretty Big Deal.
Nice.
Yes, so you guys can get this from size 1X to 3X. We are trying to expand to 4, 5, and 6X. As you guys know, with everything that's going on in the economy, with the tariffs and everything, they're making it very hard for the small business owner. But we're working on it. We're not giving up.
Okay. Okay. That's amazing. Amazing. Now, if you had to encourage someone that's on one of those same career paths as you, what would your encouraging words be?
My words would be to them is to never give up. If you believe that this is something that you're passionate about, I would say 1,000% pursue it with tenacity. Never give up. Go into it with the mindset that you're going to be successful. You're going to accomplish your goals and your dreams. And when things get hard and you don't have the motivation, tap into your discipline and be consistent.
Okay.
Be consistent and just never give up. And always remember why you started.
Remember why you started. Now that in itself is in the whole message.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very important to always keep in mind the why. I mean, as an entrepreneur, you know, it gets tough. We don't have, we're the boss, so we don't have anybody to encourage us a lot of the times. We're alone with these thought processes because we're trying to break barriers and create blueprints that aren't created. So we don't have a pathway a lot of the times to follow or a guidebook. So we have to create the narrative our own, without any guidance. And that could be a lonely process, that could be a tedious process, that could be it just could be a lot of hardship in it. But what I believe is long suffering is a gift, because there's so much change that comes in that. There's so much molding that comes in that. So it's about perspective. Instead of looking at the hardships as something, that you have to get over, just think of it as something that's growing you.
Well, I know that just even me, in my pursuit to become a better photographer and videographer, there's a lot of challenges that I face going back and forth, trying to find the right clients, making sure that my clients are satisfied. And I know that sometimes just taking an extra 5 minutes for yourself as an entrepreneur or business owner can be challenging. So you're right. Sometimes that long suffering builds that character that you need to be able to maintain that business.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I know that we just had a recent photo shoot. It was tremendous. And you, in less than, in less than an hour, you were just, a thoroughbred in the photo shoot. You were able to come out with the poses and everything. What would you do if you had someone that seen this podcast and wanted to, learn from you, whether it's a photographer or a model?
I would say, in this industry, people have to learn that sometimes your passion is not always going to lead to an instant financial gain. How I got this good and this professional is I had to do some free jobs. I had to do some non-lucrative things. I had to, just to get the experience, just to get my feet wet, just to rub elbows with the right people. I had to invest in your dream. If this is what you really believe and you have faith that this is something that you're supposed to be doing, then your decision making should be based around that. It shouldn't be based around a financial gain, because if you're being an entrepreneur just for financial gain, chances are you're not going to make it that long. Any industry that you're trying to break into, you have to pay your dues. You have to get in. You have to sometimes not be acknowledged for your work. Sometimes not be compensated for your work. You are in other ways because you're gaining experience. But don't always come out and
With
look
that
for a
handout,
paycheck.
yeah.
Don't always come out and think that, oh, this person is getting this, so I'm supposed to be getting it. You don't know how that person had to get to that point, what they had to do, the sacrifices that were made. I've made so many sacrifices, and I've had people around me too say, saying, why are you doing that, or you shouldn't be doing that, or they should be paying you. I am being paid, and the thing is, the paycheck may not come today.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in the future. If you stick to it, it's definitely all the hard work that you put in. Nothing is for free because you're gaining experience. You're learning from every mistake, so nothing is in vain. Don't always expect, and I can't say this enough, to be compensated when you're just getting into this. Sometimes it's your investment, it's your dream. How bad do you want it?
That's true.
Yeah.
What you're saying is so true, because there's sometimes where you do receive pay, but the pay doesn't amount to what you're doing or what you've already put out. Or maybe as a boss, you may have to pay your workers and you get, little to nothing. But it's okay because, like you said, you gain that experience. So once you're experiencing your season, then, yesterday's prices is not today's prices.
Absolutely.
So
then you charge what you're worth. Then I don't get out of bed unless it's for this.
Yes.
And even still, even now, I'm also a makeup artist that's under the umbrella of cosmetology. I had someone ask me one day about, not one day, but actually very recently, asked me about my prices.
Okay.
And this was, I've been in this industry for over 20 years.
Wow.
So, I've made a lot of money. This is a makeup artistry, especially right now, is very lucrative. So my response to that person who has not had as many years under their umbrella as me was, I charge whatever people want to pay. I don't turn any money down. I don't leave any money on the table. If you want a $60 makeover, I'm going to give you $60 worth of makeover. Why would I turn that down when what am I losing? There's no huge out, for me. It's a talent that I obtained that's in my brain. I'm not paying any money to do this. What is the makeup that's already in my kit? So no, I'm not going to turn down $80. I'm not going to turn down $100 because I feel like I'm worth more. I'm just going to provide you with that amount of my talent. And that way, that's how you secure the bag. And people just, they want to, but they just want to, I think Lil Wayne got a verse that says, people want to eat, but then they want to leave when you say you out of mustard.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You hungry, but you going to be picky?
Yeah.
Because you don't have your condiments?
That's right.
Like, sometimes you got to, if you're hungry, then, and I have that in my household where I tell my kids, I'm like, are you hungry or do you just want to eat?
Yeah. And he ended that verse saying, sometimes I gotta leave the restaurant alone.
Yes.
Just leave the residue bones.
Yeah.
I remember
yes,
that.
the Carter. Shout out to Lil Wayne.
Yes.
Yes.
But definitely, because how I got started in photography and videography, a friend of mine reached out. I didn't have, a professional camera at the time. I had, some little cameras, but nothing professional. They had a professional camera. They said, man, you always taking pictures. Come take pictures for me. I said, okay. And when I went, I really wasn't expecting anything, but they still blessed me with, a nice little amount. But someone at their party said they wanted me to come and do pictures for them. So you're right. Sometimes when you turn down that $60, that $80, your blessing is right there. But because you say no, I'm not gonna accept it. You miss that blessing.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
You missed the opportunity. I don't believe anything is happening by coincidence. I believe that everything is operating for my good. Everything is operating for what my goals are. So every opportunity is going to create another opportunity.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So don't ever think that you're doing something that is wasteful.
And I try to always tell people, don't always think somebody's looking for a bargain or something's a scam or something like that. You have to really walk into certain situations giving people the benefit of the doubt, because just because someone says, hey, can you do this for me for $60, they may see your worth. That may be all they have at that moment.
Right.
But when they come back and they pay you what you're worth, and
or
then
you,
some.
like you say, you may never know. You might go and do that $60 gig and end up getting something bigger.
Yeah.
You might end up getting booked or referred to a bigger situation.
That's right.
You know, and it's just when you're in the industry, when you're in business, you have to learn how to, you know, have friends in commerce. You have to learn, that's what I call it, friends in commerce. Like people who you may not be friends with in your personal setting, but you know this person is tied to your industry and you're going to see them quite often. So you kind of become friends in the commerce setting.
That's right.
So you have to know how to keep all of these rapports, you know, pretty good, because you just never know who you're gonna need or who's gonna end up being who.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That $60 gig could end up being a multi-billionaire, and they might just remember that you helped them out one time and put you on. So,
that's right. Now, for all the people that's watching, give them some information where you could be found at.
Absolutely. So you can find me on IG at